Hey everybody, just a quick disclaimer on this episode. We did have a little bit of audio issues with some lag, so we apologize for that. Hope you enjoy the show still, but just want to let you know that we did have a little bit of an issue this week.
I had
You make
one
a good
funny,
point. So
one
maybe
hilarious thing I
might-
thought
they might. I don't
about
know.
this first
I mean,
kind of
they had
opening
electricity
segment
in the
where
cars.
she, oh my god, we're talking about two different
That
things.
was bad.
This lag.
I can't help thinking, somewhere in the universe, there has to be something better than man. Has to be. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ascensions to 10.
All right. Here
Oh,
we are.
got the fade out on
Nailed
time.
it this time. Ba-bam.
You were
No one
about
ever notices that in real life when they listen to these episodes or watch them. That's for us. We get real
We should-
excited.
yeah. One of these days we're gonna have to do a live stream just so the audience can appreciate the chaos that happens every single time we sit down to record. Case in point, on my end, you were about 2 seconds behind with
Perfect.
your own sync from what I was seeing and hearing.
You look pixelated as fuck tonight. So. That was great.
Oh my goodness. We're back.
But we're back. This is what it is. Here we are.
You know what? It is what it is. I mean, in all likelihood, this is coming out late anyways, and so
Hey, you never know.
might as
There
well
could be
look
a
like
miracle. I don't know.
trash.
We'll see.
Throw up a Hail Mary.
Yeah, if you're listening to this, we're recording on a Tuesday night before it releases on a Wednesday. So if it's late, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we had a good
doing our best.
3-4 day weekend. Slide this baby in the books. It was going to be a by Thursday done in the books.
It's literally a kiss of death every time. I'm like, oh yeah, we've got so much time, or we've got so many days. We'll get this, and every time it's like, no, never. It's gonna work the way we planned.
When we started this show, we had weeks of worth of content backed up.
I know we were we were like 3 weeks ahead.
Yeah.
So like if we took a vacation or something, we had extra ones booked in, so we didn't have to worry about it. And now it's like, oh shit, are we gonna get caught up?
It's such a scramble at this point. I mean,
awesome.
I hope the thing is, I hope the show is getting better, right? I hope the show has improved since frickin' episode 2 thing. We should just delete. But we were so, I don't know. We're just like just slapping this together now. But maybe it is a representation of us getting better at this. The fact that we can just slap this together,
Right.
and have a somewhat decent
more
product.
more authentic too, less polished.
More authentic,
you know, it's real raw.
That's right. That's what the audience is here for, anyways, right?
That's right.
Although I do wish in some ways, I do wish they could appreciate just the utter clusterfuck that is every time we sit down to do this, and the lag and all this.
How do we still have lag? How long have we been doing this? We've gotten new and I got new internet because I thought it was the internet. So I switched from 1 gig to 2 gig internet. We both got the same laptops. We've got all the same equipment.
It's identical.
Why are we lagging 2 seconds?
Spenny's coming in at me at about 2p right now. I can see that he has a face.
Same for you, bud.
Oh,
especially now.
I mean,
you've got some new setup, so you're basically just a whitewash and then black behind you.
Well, what I'm realizing is that, okay, so I wanted to see if my lights were too bright, right, that I had been using.
Yeah,
and
sure.
So right now, all I'm illuminated by is the computer screen. And I'm seeing on my end, anyways, we'll see. Curious how this is going to end up looking, but this camera that we're using is picking up the refresh rate of the screen.
Yeah.
So on my end, there's the lines that come through, right? Now, I mean, why is this happening though? Because the screen's at 60 hertz. The light bulbs, right, that I was using overhead lights, that one runs at 60 hertz. So why wasn't I seeing the picking up the whatever? Who cares? I don't know. It's like,
really thought you were going somewhere with that, and that really
just a typical day.
Typical day. Well, speaking of typical day, I actually had a typical day this last week. It's been a while since we actually had a full-blown typical day, but those listeners that have been with us from the beginning know that I kind of had a typical day. Almost a year ago now.
Yeah.
We got new windows for our house, and we got them installed, and every single window had paint on the edges, and they were messed up, so they had to reorder all of them. They missed one of our windows, so they had to get that ordered. So they're going to come back. You know, it took 6 months from when we initially ordered to get the windows installed. So we're almost like a year and a half now of this whole ordeal. Come around Christmas time, we get a call and a text like, hey, I need a schedule to service your window or get you on the schedule to have a service. And we're like, oh, sweet. I mean, like, this means all our windows are going to get put in. They're going to get the one that they missed and get all this taken care of. One fell swoop. Sweet. And they came last week, and there was just a truck with a window. So immediately it was like, okay, so I guess we're just getting the one they missed replaced. So they replaced that window, and I'm asking them, like, okay, so I see we're getting this window, which is great. It was missed initially, but like, where are the other windows? Like, it's been a year, almost a year. So what's happening? And he's like, oh yeah, that's right. Like, let me see what I can find out. Let me check. And while he's doing that, they finish putting the window in, and they're like, oh, you know what? This one doesn't have a screen. We forgot the screen. It's like, great. And then he's going over, and he's like, you know what? I found out. So they ordered your windows, but they ordered it under somebody else's name. Same last name, but some other person. I was like, so it's been a year. You ordered windows under the wrong person. So did this person get double windows or something? And so he's going around taking pictures of the same issues we have of this like overspray. So there's like, we have black windows on the outside and white on the inside, and the black has sprayed all over the glass and it's gotten into the inside of the windows. But he's going over to the window they just installed to see it has the same problem. It's got overspray on it. And then in the corner, there is literally a piece that is just broken off in the window, like in the border. And I'm like, what is happening? Like, you're going to have to come back and replace this window. So why did you install it? So it's just like unbelievable. So I was just like, I was so mad, and I was just sitting there like thinking of all the things. Like, they haven't come back and fixed some of the other stuff from when they were supposed to. Like, they put some holes in the screens, and they're like, well, we're going to do all that once we get the new windows and all that stuff. It's like, now we have some windows that are missing, have different colored handles and all this other stuff. And it's just been a total cluster. Yikes. And it's been a real typical day. So
yikes.
Yeah.
I mean, so you did end up with a bed, right? With the correct bed.
Yeah, I do have a bed, and it works, and it's nice. I like it. So that you can check that box.
Yeah, but that took about 6 or 7 months, right? Or
yes. Yeah.
Was it okay?
No, so it was about 9 months.
This was already double that saga.
Yeah,
and it's not. And it's to be concluded, right?
Well, yeah, and now they're telling me that, oh, well, you know, the timelines are much faster now, so we're looking at 8 weeks. I was like, great, but like these things weren't ordered for a year. So,
Yeah.
and there's been no communication, and like, it's just one of those things where it's like, you get the salesman in here and he's talking about how great things are, and they have all this great, communication and stuff for when things are going to come in and when you're going to get that. And it's just been complete, crickets for a year.
Just nonsense, huh?
And now here we are. So TBD on when this actually finally gets completed, but yikes.
Well, yikes. Yeah. That is a TD.
Yeah.
TBD on the TD.
TBD on the TD.
Conclusion.
Yep. So hang on tight.
Hang on tight.
It's going to be a real cliffhanger.
I wonder what's going to happen. What's going to be resolved first? Your Windows or my missing magnets?
Ooh.
If I get
have you gotten
to the bottom of that.
Have you gotten anything more on that? You sure you didn't pack them away for the lab move that you have coming soon?
No.
It's not on your It's not on your map.
It's not on my inventory. No.
It's not on your inventory map.
These are off the books.
Yeah.
No. So
okay.
I guess we'll stay tuned for that too.
Again, if you would like to support with neodymium magnets, you can also support us on Patreon, patreon.com/A2TED.
I need to recoup my losses there with the magnets.
But while we're talking about it too, you can also follow us on social medias, Ascension210. You can find us at the website, ascension210.com. Email us at boys@ascension210.com if you have recommendations for movies or have a typical day story you'd like to share. Mm-hmm, and you can also find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook with Ascension2TN.
So speaking of the socials, there's been a little bit of a development on the socials land. Now I've been kind of, we've been just kind of hinting at the increased activity over there with the addition of my grants. Spenny granted me access, right, to the Instagrams.
I love it. It's great.
And it's been a trip. Two exciting things. One, if you've gone over to our Instagram page, you'll notice, and we've talked about this before, a little bit of a different spin on social media posts that between the two of us. It's very professional.
You can see that.
Benny's very professional. It does great work promoting the show and adding the graphics and the jingle bells and whatnot, and using the technology to its fullest effect. Me less so. And one might question the relevance of the things that I post. That's valid. What's interesting is we seem to go in waves of engagement with these posts that we make. So, and during the last summer of 22, that's when it just went crazy, right? The reels that you were posting were getting thousands of views and likes and stuff, right?
Yeah, we
got all excited about it because
a couple weeks.
Yeah. And then it, just nosedived and crashed and burned into the ground with no change in what the content was. Right. This is, again, all Spenny stuff. And then as of recently, last week or a couple weeks ago, I post a 5-second video of my feet walking around the driveway, shorts and sandals. It was December something. And all I said was, I'm wearing shorts and sandies in Nashville. Happy New Year. And the likes have been flooding in for that dumbass post. Hundreds of views. And the thumbnail is just of the ground. You can't see anything. There's nothing intriguing about this thumbnail at all.
Your thumbnail game is top notch.
So it's just, if anything proves my point, how dumb this is. And so I'm having fun, right? And it's just generating clicks. Now, it does all appear to be what could just be random, not victims,
People?
but I guess beneficiaries of just overseas click farms. Because it's just complete random nonsense of the likes that are happening from just
I don't,
and so I don't think that the show is growing at all.
Yeah, I don't get how they got your reel as suggested.
I know it's Instagram is suggesting a reel of a 5-second person walking around talking about shorts and sandies in Nashville. Happy New Year. And
maybe they're just liking everything.
Yeah, well, probably, right? But it's just, and the picture that would start to suggest you click on this is just the ground. There's nothing else. Yet it's getting likes. But that's not all. So that's the first thing. The second major development is Spenny and I talk a lot about Papa John, right? Papa John's. Yes. Maybe not. Actually, I don't know now. I can't.
We haven't talked about
ever talked about it on the show?
No, yeah, we have.
Okay.
Didn't we? Or was it just social? I don't
losing
remember.
track
I think
now.
No, we definitely did because we had some people
a lot of
comment,
TDs.
like,
right? Oh.
Yeah, like you should somebody commented like you should try a local pizza place instead of Papa John's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
Well, to catch everybody up, in case we haven't talked about it, we have this hypothesis that if you order Papa John before 5:30, it's great. After that, it's current trash, right?
Right. You get flooded with
the
orders, and you get flooded with the orders, and then it just the quality goes down. They're trying to churn and burn.
Yeah. And so what happened last week was Spenny ordered Papa John, and he just posted in our group chat, Papa John's on the way, and it was happened to be at 5:00 or something. And so oh, stay tuned. So we'll see if this adds a significant data point to our theory here. It turns out that it was good. Well, you got that. You got it before 5:30 or something like that. And it looked great, and it was good, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
totally.
I decided I had no plans. I was on my own that night, and so as it happens, and I thought, okay, well, it's now 6:20ish on my end, so I'm going to order a Papa John and see what happens, and I'll post that on social media. Oh, that's the other thing. Spenny's posted on social media.
Yeah, that's
and it really doesn't matter. I got mine. It ended up being good, but here's the thing: Spenny posted that on socials, added Papa John's. Papa John's responded.
Oh, hell yeah.
And said something like,
great.
I don't know.
Something.
Great. I remember. You said something like, we got Papa John's. Good. Something like that. And then I responded. Now, keep in mind, the comment thread between Spenny and I is the show's account. So it's the show. It's 8 to 10 commenting on its own comments, but it's coming from both of us. Right. And so I responded at Ascension to 10 and saying that looks really good. That looks amazing. Nashville Papa John's looks nothing like that. And then Papa John responded to my comment and said, looks real good. And so, I mean, we're basically famous now. I don't know how else to interpret that, because Papa John,
if you're listening,
yes,
we'd love
at Papa John's
sponsored. Yep.
That's what I'm saying. How great of a sponsorship would that be? We would sell so many pizzas. We would sell breadsticks, Papa Diaz, the bowls, the whatever else they got,
Oreos,
the salads or whatever,
giant
the
Oreo
Oreos,
things they got going now, and
jalapeno bites, stuffed triple decked pepperoni crust things, shacaronis,
stuffed crust. We got the epic stuffed crust,
chicken wings or whatever,
chicken bites.
We would sell so much pizza on this show. Well,
in 2 liters. Can you imagine how many 2 liters would be sold? Just grab and go.
So, at Papa John's, if you're listening, please work with us.
Yeah.
We will make it worth your while.
Totally.
To the audience, to the audience, this is not an ad, right? We're not being paid by Papa John's to say any of this, and quite frankly, we won't anymore unless something happens. But this all stemmed from one Papa John's comment who added us. Maybe that's it's all it takes sometimes.
Yeah. Maybe we'll just. We missed a golden opportunity when we were reviewing Demolition Man. Why didn't we go to Taco Bell? I mean, that would have just been a slam dunk.
Dang.
God, we gotta be thinking ahead.
We would have been advertising that like heck.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Anyways, that was some exciting recent developments on our end.
Yeah.
Now, if you again follow us, like Spenny said, Ascension to 10. What is it? Ascension to 10.
Yep, Ascension.
Just that.
Yep. Well, Ascension number 2.
Go ahead and check us out. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
And if you want to check out some more video content of the podcast, check us out at Ascension to 10 Podcast on YouTube. We do have shorts on there too, which is similar content. So yeah,
similar content.
Quick shout out to Companion. Yeah, quick shout out to Companion. I got his new shirt. No one can see it.
Looks pretty ballin'.
It's cool. It's light blue. It's got some pink. Says Companion. It would have been better because he is supposed to be on sometime, and he's always got his Sir 40s waxing, and he's constantly doing whatever. But
he only has time to catch those waves.
Got those waves.
Anyways, good plug there.
Yeah, he helped with the the song that we play at the beginning. So okay. Well,
I had one small aside. I don't know if this will go anywhere.
Okay, let's hear it.
You posted a vid of your daughter to our group chat rock climbing this last week.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It just made me think about this. I feel like half of our friend group got super into rock climbing at various points in their young adult lives. Yep. And so much so that last year, my wife and I almost bit the same bullet and almost because there's a climbing gym 2 blocks from us, and we almost did the exact same thing where you get into it and you get all the gear and whatnot, and then you're like rock climbing people, right? What ended up happening was around that exact same time that we were going to pull the trigger on that, we decided to go in the golf direction instead.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know how to explain it other than because Brian got crazy into it at one point. Mm-hmm. Our friend Alan, he was the first one of our friend group to do it.
He was big time.
And even Hubble, gangly,
I feel like
Hubble,
if you
which makes no sense.
Yeah, if you live in Colorado, I think you're obligated to try to climb walls.
Yeah,
or rocks, whatever you,
and rock walls. So, anyways, I just had to comment on that. I don't know if it's a similar trend for other groups of friends that half the population ends up getting into rock climbing for a short amount of time and then falling out of it just as quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it was reminded that the last time I did it was like 10 years ago at a bachelor party, and it was a reminder of like, wow, this is fun to do every once in a while, but it's like it's not something I wouldn't find enjoyable doing a lot. But it was a fun little outing as a family. So
yeah. Was that the same bachelor party that you played golf at? Had those pictures?
No.
Swinging and missing.
Different one. No. But we did go rock climbing, and it was a blast. My daughter's 6 or almost 6, and she was really good at it. And I was impressed.
Hell yeah.
Going up 25-foot walls and climbing over them.
So in that video, were you the person peeking over the edge?
Yeah.
Okay, because that video was in, I don't know, like crazy zero definition. I saw your head.
We used
over.
GroupMe, and the video was too long, so it made me shorten it. And then I said, "Screw it, I'll just make it a GIF," and then I just GIFed it. So that's why it looks so terrible.
No resolution.
If you want the full, if you want full resolution, I can share that with you, Jad.
It was just this head-shaped object that just appeared over top of her from above.
With a backwards ball cap.
Yeah, it was just so, I don't know why it was just so funny to me that yeah. Anyways.
All right. Well, we do have a movie
preamble,
this week.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Earth Girls Are Easy. 1989. It is a sci-fi musical comedy from the 80s.
Yeah. If that sounds terrible.
Yeah, do you think this is like the Dude, Where's My Car of 80s movies?
I mean, it certainly had a humor style that was probably seemed dated by the 90s.
Yeah.
So, it has Jim Carrey in it, right? And I will forgive a lot if it has Jim Carrey in it, because he was kind of my idol when I was a kid.
Ace Ventura was your ultimate jam.
That was my freaking jam. And but this was a hard miss. And Damon Wayans, he's hilarious too. Hard miss.
He was he was like just kind of he was playing such a weird character that like you didn't even get to see any of them, honestly.
Yeah, like, Jeff Goldblum was the only one with lines, right? And so, I mean, it was just the other two acting like idiots.
The other two were just going like, la, 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 la.
Without some form of dialogue that just doesn't work, right?
Well, Jeff Goldblum was the only one with like a normal name. They called him Mac. The other two were Whiplock and Zebo. So it was like, what is happening here?
I mean, I think honestly, I think it's sounding funnier now talking about it than it actually was to see it, because I sent Spenny a text at one point saying, "This is pain. This is just pain to sit here and watch this."
It was stupid, but you have to remember, like, they're making fun of it. Like, everything they're doing is like over the top. So you have to just, I thought some of the stuff was pretty funny, but at the same time, I'm not going to say it's good. I'll tell you that.
It was just a social commentary on the times, I guess, and being superficial and men and women both only caring about looks and money and stuff. And so the whole thing was just a commentary about that.
Yeah.
But they put effort into, making a spaceship and set and alien costumes, and it's
okay.
Just kind of thought, why do this?
So the spaceship specifically, did it not remind you of Magic School Bus?
Oh, okay. Kind of. Like I had a different thought.
Oh.
It reminded me a lot of Gigglebees.
Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah, I can see that.
Oh my God, Spenny, we are so off sync right now. We are multiple seconds off sync right now.
This is great.
Okay.
This is great.
Try and get this back. Oh, but yeah, okay. So it reminded me, the color scheme, everything about it reminded me of Gigglebees, and those old ass arcade games in the back.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, the color scheme definitely, but. If you find where you see a Magic School Bus where it transforms into a spaceship, it literally looks like this. So check it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyways,
absolutely.
Should I read a synopsis of this and then we can just keep rolling?
Hell yeah.
All right, here we go. 3 horny furries travel across the universe looking for radio waves that showcase females. They crash land in Southern California in the backyard pool of a girl named Valerie. She's engaged to a sleazy doctor with a ginormous stethoscope. Anyway, 3 furry aliens crash land and start destroying Val's house and she takes them to the salons where they get shaved and turn into cute Southern cowboys. They spend the rest of the movie just messing up stuff and making cute girls fawn over them. There's a lot of random musical tunes along the way in the film. Eventually, they fix their ship. Val decides to go with them to their home planet of Smarkleton Jimgo Way or something. And it ends.
And it ends. Very nice.
There you go. Yeah. Wow, you look really good now. So I don't know what happened. There's no lag.
Let's freaking go, man. Looking good.
But like the beginning is just the two of the Zebo and Whiplock are just like going through radio waves of all over the galaxy looking for TV and radio sounds. I don't know. They're
just horning around. They're just there's no other way to describe it. They're just
I know they're super horny. They're just on a spaceship, three horny fur balls, and for some reason one is like levitating, sleeping, but the other two
the captain is just asleep. The captain of the ship is just in a induced coma or something, and the other two just
he was in an induced coma.
The other two just can't control their whatever. I don't know, they like shoot some goo on the instrument panel or something, and the thing crashes into Earth.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
it's so amazing.
They crash into a pool, and I don't know. It's basically a Gigglebees set, and I don't know.
Well, like right before they crash, though, so Val and her husband Ted, I think his name's Ted, or fiance, like there's a scene where he's coming back late from work, and she's getting ready for him for bed, and like he goes into the bathroom and he realizes he has a hickey, so he's trying to cover that up. But right before they does that, he like does this thing where he uses his thumb like he's playing an instrument, and then like blows up his bicep twice, and it's just like, what?
And
what are we doing? And goes
like
to bed.
It's like I can maybe see that if he's psyching himself up to, I don't know, do bedroom stuff or something, or I don't know. It's like do something, literally anything, right?
Yeah.
But he goes to bed immediately.
Yeah.
It makes it a point not to do anything, actually.
Yeah.
And did you notice? Okay, so the opening credits, whatever they roll, and then there's this flyover through the galaxy and then into Earth and stuff, and it's this claymation stuff.
Yeah.
And it flies over Hollywood, just kind of a generic flyover. I don't know, LA Hollywood stuff. You see the Hollywood sign.
Yeah.
And it's doing this at about 14 frames per second. It's just super juddery. It's like, and it does this fly into a residential bedroom window where you see Val, or whatever her name is. She's in bed. Now it's daylight, and they transition, and she's in bed asleep, and it transitions into the bedroom, and it's just night. And so she's just sleeping the day away, sleeping through the night.
That's what
Just why make it daylight? I don't at all, right? I don't, it's like they only had access to they only had access to helicopter footage during the day. They had to
during the day
just splice it into something. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I have a car question for you.
Yes.
So, okay, she's driving this old Mustang from the 70s or something, right?
No, that's 65, I think.
Okay. So she's a nail manicurist. She works at a salon. She does nails, right? And so that's basically, they kind of hint that that's her whole identity, right? She's nothing more than a nail salon person,
right?
Which fine if that's
she's marrying to a doctor, so she does nails, and he's bring home the bacon, whatever.
So they paint this picture that's all she knows, cares about, which is fine, whatever. But she's constantly just half the scenes have hair dryers in them, right? They're with some purpose. And she pulls out a hair dryer in the car to quickly dry off her nails, which I guess would already have been done, right?
Right.
She's going to work where she does nails, but she needs her nails done before work.
Right.
Anyways, did old cars back then, they wouldn't have had a 12-volt outlet or anything in them, right?
I don't think so. No.
I mean, they had literal wood in them back then, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to have an accessory port.
It's anywhere. A little cigarette lighter. That'd be the only thing you would have back there in there. So, yeah.
I would have had one of those, though, you think?
Well, a cigarette lighter, but it would have been...
That would have been 12 volt, right?
I mean, you're asking me. I don't know for sure. So,
yeah, who cares?
We'll fact check that for you, Jad.
We won't. We're not going to do that.
No.
Okay.
No, but
one hilarious thing I thought
they might. I don't
about
know.
this first
kind
of
opening
electricity segment where
cars.
She. Oh my god. We're talking about two different things.
That was
bad. Because the slag. Okay. She gets to the salon and she's chatting with her girlfriends, right? And she's all complaining about how bedroom life is dead, right? And she doesn't know why. And so the friend says, you just need a makeover. And she just out of nowhere whips out this computer program.
It's amazing. It's amazing computer system.
To generate the artificial intelligence redesign of what her appearance could be. And it's, she has different hairstyles and different wardrobes and makeups. And the last thing that it shows is we could even turn your eyes blue. And the computer starts drawing in these blue square pixels, like following her irises, but at one point it just loses track of where her eye is and it just goes fucking crazy. And then the scene just cuts, like they forgot to edit out that part.
Yeah, right.
It just went nuts all over her eye. I guarantee that wasn't intentional to happen.
No, it definitely was not. Awesome.
That was so funny to me.
Well, yeah, and the whole point of this makeover is her friend tells her that her fiance has PMS, so he's got premarital stress. So that whole montage of her getting like redone is so she goes back home that night to surprise him because she's supposed to be out of town that weekend at a nail convention.
Which again, you know what? That's legit if you're into that. No hate, but sure. That's pretty funny, right?
But she's all dressed up now. She's back at the house that they have, and like she's reading this book about like how to be seductive and all these things to drive men crazy. And there's canola oil just there. I thought that was the only thing that was random. Like massage lotion would have, or oil would have made sense, but it's canola oil. So that was, I thought that was pretty funny.
I know. Yeah, I thought that was funny too, because it's like I think the point here was, and they made a similar kind of offhand joke later in the movie where if you're not, it was this song about being blonde, about how blonde women just have everything handed to them, basically. And there's during this musical number, there's a brunette on the beach who's having to read a book about how to get dates. And so I think the whole point is that for those like women who just don't have men falling over them, their best hope is to read a book, right? About how to make that happen. And so she probably just read use oils, and she grabbed cooking oil and stuff. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was funny. And so
we're
this
all
is the only yeah, go ahead.
Chad.
What?
Oh my God.
Okay, I'm gonna go. This is the part where like she's dressed in like a nightgown or something. She's ready to woo him when he comes in, and she hides in the closet, and then he comes home, and it turns out he has one of his like nurse girls with him because he thinks she's going to be gone, so he's going to have this like romantic night, well, without his fiance. But he comes out, he goes into the bathroom and just starts shoving a bunch of stuff into the toilet, and flushes it. And it's obviously way bigger than the hole to flush anything down.
Well, it's a box of tampons and some pantyhose, right?
Yeah. And a picture.
He tries to flush it and a picture, yeah.
But then he comes out, and like she comes out of the closet and thought she was gonna hug her fiance, but it's the other girl. And then he comes out and he has this ginormous stethoscope that like falls between his legs that looks like a third leg. But it was just like over the top huge. Like, what was it for? I was like, is this a horse stethoscope or what? But I don't know. But,
yeah.
And then at one point, the girl like backs into a cactus and it pokes her, and then she like runs off. But there's a note.
Well, no, that's when she runs into. She makes this screech, and then Val pops out of the closet and runs into her.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's it. Well, so production had to be halted during this scene because the lady that backs into the cactus, no one could actually see it when they were filming it. So they had to stop, and they had to paint it with clear nail polish so it would show up on film. Fun little tidbit for you. All that.
Wow.
All
for a stupid little gag.
Yeah.
Surprised they didn't try to do it digitally or something, or
yeah,
with that fancy computer they have.
Right. Well, anyways, everything falls apart, and then the aliens. This is when the aliens are starting to crash, or they're fighting, or something.
Yeah. So she's she's pissed off and stuff, and starts trashing the house and all this stuff, and there's another musical number and whatnot, and it's pretty unentertaining. But I mean, this is a depiction of the 80s, right?
Yes, right.
So 80s attire, 80s, what do you call it, with just style, I guess.
Yeah.
And housewares and everything. I don't know, it looked like Pee-wee's Playhouse in there. Just the fucking junk in that house.
Did.
And the random clear mirrored bookshelves and cases and stuff, and just the fucking trash that was in this house.
There's so much random stuff. It didn't even make
crap.
There was one part where she got mad, and like she purposely sets up skis and she angles them towards a computer and then rolls a bowling ball at him.
Yeah.
Because she's, mad about what just happened and stuff. And it was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, because she was taking all of his hobbies, right, and destroying them. So she took his golf clubs and all his tennis rackets or whatever, and destroying all this stuff. But golly, the house was just, if all houses were like that back then, it's just most random crap everywhere.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing, just to illustrate just how random this nonsense is, they had a cat, right? And the litter box was what looked like a Red Ryder wagon, right? Just a classic child's wagon. But the wagon part was clear plexiglass, and the litter was inside the wagon part, and it had a full handle and everything, and it was just chilling in wheels. And it was just chilling in the kitchen. That's what the litter box was. And it's just the house was full of just nonsense like that.
Yeah. I wonder if it was just somebody's house that they just stumbled on, and then they just were like, we'll just use all this stuff. Like, it's like they didn't even set it. They just used all the random stuff that was already in the house.
and then trash it all.
And
it's just build it into the budget to trash this house.
Right.
But then there's stuff too, like the aliens come and they do the makeover, like Spenny said, and then the friend who does the makeover wants to take him out in the town and So they go out in
Yeah,
this
it's
town, they're
Saturday
driving
night.
around and stuff, and it's Saturday night, and they get to that observatory in LA that's, overlooks the whole city, and it's very famous, and it's just a dance club. And they park next to a car vehicle thing that is a white full grand piano that's just on wheels with a seat and a steering wheel. You see it only in the background, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it's what is this?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's random stuff in all of these backgrounds. Like, there's 2 cars from Death Race 2000 randomly in this movie. There's one just sitting at a gas station. But yeah, Joe Viterbo's bull
really?
is just sitting in the back. And then the skeletal guy, their car is just driving when
the monster.
Frankenstein. Yeah, Frankenstein. Yeah, the monster when they're driving in reverse. Zebo and Whip-Lop.
Dang, I missed that.
They're driving in reverse, and the thing's there, and it's like, what? What is happening? Like, why did you randomly just have these things in this film? But
yeah. So they're at this dance club, right? And it's almost a shot for shot remake, or at least it reminded me of the dance scene from Space Mutiny, where it's just people doing random motions in cages and on the dance floor and with each other and stuff. And then there was this dance battle, and it made me think that, okay, dancing used to be, my grandparents would tell me that, the thing to do was you'd go to a dance, right? And back in the 40s and 50s and 60s and stuff, that the social thing that you did was you went to dances and you danced, and the women had the dance cards, and you had to, if you wanted to dance with someone, you had to ask if you could get in line or whatever, and however that worked. Right. And it's a very formal thing, and formal being that it was what was done, right? Yeah. That was entertainment.
It was the social thing to do. Right.
Yes. And over the years, they just kind of changed how it looked, right? The dancing changed form and style and stuff, and maybe they kind of was still popular with the older generations, but the younger generations kind of did it too. And then I feel like the 80s must have been when that just fucking ended, because it got to the point where they're just doing, they're just...
You think the evolution of dance stopped?
Yeah, dancing had reached its pinnacle and then just started to decline. And then everybody as a group just said, okay, we're done with that. Like, dancing is done. Because obviously it was never a thing for us, right? I mean, we had school dances, but that's a different thing, right?
That's one thing, like, I think it was like Sunday nights or something. Jams? Was it Jams? Was a dance club or something in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where it's like Sunday night teen night or something. And it was like, I think my siblings went to it, so 7, 8 years older than us. But it was like a dance club. So maybe.
Interesting.
But no, like when it comes to social stuff, yeah, we definitely don't dance at all for anything.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just not a thing anymore. I feel like the 80s killed it. The 80s is just where they just dropped a nuke on dancing altogether, and everybody just they just took a look at themselves, what they were doing, and said, we can't let this happen again. So they all chose to forget. They put it behind themselves and moved away.
Well, Nirvana came in the early 90s, and then everybody just started doing drugs. So that's probably where the socials went.
Yeah.
The grunge phase came in.
The grunge killed it. Anyway, so that all being said,
okay, what are we talking about?
They go to this dance club that's at this observatory, but it's not an observatory, but
yeah.
And okay, so there it's just, it's panning through the crowd of this utter nonsense, right? It's just, if you look at this, it's, what are they doing, right?
Yeah, it's totally random. Like, it doesn't look like real normal dancing. It's like,
yeah,
I don't even know how to describe it. You just
at least Space Mutiny had the hula hoops, right? At least there was some attempt at some type of skill or goal, at least in
Yeah.
in the sense of trying to make a hula hoop go. But okay, so did you see that there were a few of these cages, right? And there's one person in them. And did you see the guy that had this M16 looking squirt gun, and he was just up in their faces squirting these dancers with this assault rifle style squirt gun.
This might have been a time where I was kind of zoning out.
There's
a lot
added to the just what the
total
fuck is this
chaos.
about?
Oh jeez.
But
there's a part where they decide to go to the dancing thing, and they're in the aliens are sitting on the back of Val's car and they're driving, and then these girls pull up next to them, and then Jim Carrey just like tries to jump over to them and then does the splits, but it's like a full-on shot of him, but it's obviously not him. It's a stunt double doing the splits, but they did it in an angle like there's no way you could avoid it. It's like either it's the person or it's not. Like there's no way to disguise it other than make it a short little snippet. But it
would have been just so easy to do it from behind, right? Just have him set up the shot of him, like face on, leaning over to go to the other car, but then just cut to a shot from behind and have the stunt double be that. It's so stupid.
Different. It was totally a different person.
It was so obvious.
That was awesome.
But
the only other
I don't know what else there is to say about this stupid movie. It's like the premise was they needed a day. The spaceship was in the pool and it got wet, so it wouldn't work anymore.
Yeah.
Not mentioning that it fucking crashed from space, right? The fact that they couldn't leave is because it got wet, and and so they needed to drain the pool because it was still in the pool, and then they could fix it, and then they would leave. And so Val was thinking, day, 2 days tops. But and so at this point, the doctor had been kicked out of the house for bringing another woman home, and he calls with this sob story at some point during the next day. He's like, oh no, please take me back. Oh, I'll be home tonight. And then so they're out on clubbing, right? And she goes, I just don't know what we're gonna do because Ted's gonna be home, and I just don't know what I'm gonna do with these aliens and stuff. And sure enough, she just takes them all home, right? And he's there.
Yep.
And then I don't know. He gets.
I think the best.
And then
part...
at this point, at this point in the movie, there's an hour left.
Oh, it was way long. The last like 45 minutes were just these alien guys just destroying stuff over and over and over, and it added nothing to the movie. I mean, it was one of those that was way long. Yeah. But the funny part was so the fiance is leaving this voicemail about hey, I'll be home tonight. But the voicemail was like, is there a doctor in the house? Ha ha.
Oh, the answering machine, right?
Yeah, the answering machine. Yeah, the voicemail. The next gen.
Yeah.
Gosh. Yeah. So after that, it's like we said, it's 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Finally, they decide that she decides that she doesn't want to live here anymore, and she's gonna go with the aliens and live in Jumanji with the aliens.
One of the last scenes was who cares? The aliens end up on that doctor's operating table because I guess he was just a jack of all trades doctor. He just had access to every room in this hospital, and he could do whatever the fuck he wanted as a doctor. Right. And so he just started doing these two aliens on this operating table, and just started doing experiments and stuff. And you see him put on a latex glove, and within milliseconds of him putting on this glove, he's touching his face and stuff, and he's like, doing that. It's just, I don't know. It's just, How hard could it have been to just have him not do that, right? To imitate a doctor in the slightest. Anyways.
Yeah, that's
all I got to say about that.
That's all I mean, the only other thing I was trying to think of, no, I mean, it's one of those over the top movies. So at least we found some common ground. I mean, at the beginning, when you find these aliens, it kind of looks like they're wearing a Hulk Hogan Speedo, and then they have Speed Racer helmets, and they're literally completely covered in fur. Their faces are the same color as their fur. There was one that was blue, red, and one that was yellow, and they're like super horny, as we mentioned. But so they get shaved at the spa, and then magically they are no longer any color. They're all just, there's 2 white guys and a black guy, and it just didn't make any sense how shaving their fur off, but they still have faces that are that same color. Like, how did that change the color? But whatever. So
don't know.
But
I don't know. Should we give this thing a
have
score?
to rank this. Yeah, we do have to rank this or give it a score. Since we failed to do that one episode, though we talked about 2 movies in depth. This is the Ascension to 10 podcast. We rate on 11-point scale. 0 to Ascension. 10 to Ascension. All right, Jad, what are you gonna give it?
I mean, I'm tempted to give it another NA because it's so fucking dumb. I don't recommend this to anybody. Nobody should see this. It's so stupid. But in lieu of an NA, I mean, it's an Ascension. It's just so stupid.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
I'm giving it a 1.6. So there you go.
I feel like the audience has to know at this point that, at least for me, I make up this score as soon as we get to this point. Right in the episode. I've always suspected the same for you. I mean, because it's fucking 1.6. You gave Logan's Run a 1.7.
Yeah, see, I do a digital calculation, and I analyze the scores that I've previously scored, and I come to a conclusion.
That's so good. So you're saying that this was better than Mission to Mars at a 1.1?
Maybe. At least it was funny.
All right.
Mission to Mars was so boring. At least this was funny. That's what I give it. Had some comedy.
Was it? Yeah, I mean, yeah, whatever. The song about being blonde
it's not like I said it was. It's not like I said it was good.
Yeah.
It's not like 1.6 is good. Come on. Jeez Louise.
Good point.
All right.
Oh,
okay.
Man.
Well,
we got a little bit of housekeeping here, right?
Yeah. Okay. What?
We got a backlog of stuff here.
Like what?
Of write-ins, suggestions.
Yes. Yeah.
That we've been.
Yeah.
ignoring.
We have our first one. We didn't talk about this before. Do you want to do both of them? Do you want to do one at a time? We've got 2 recommendations.
Well, I don't know.
Okay, we'll do one at a time. We'll do our first one. Our first one is from our friend
No
Taylor.
plan.
It's
Friend of the show.
20. Hey, we did say we just kind of just winged it tonight. We're really winging it tonight.
No, my goodness.
This is our first international film. So I don't know how this will go, but it's called
We're
Cosmo
getting artsy
Ball.
over here.
It's on Amazon Prime from 2020. It's called Cosmo Ball. So we're going to check that out.
Go.
So
excellent.
If you want to watch it with us, Cosmo Ball. It's on Amazon Prime. We think.
Excellent.
Unless it changes month and then it goes away.
Thank you, Taylor, for that recommendation.
Yeah, thank you. And then I think we have another one we'll talk about next week.
Start getting through our yeah, I mean, so far, let's see. Let's track our records. We've been asking for fan recommendations for 38 episodes now. And
yes,
the last one we finally got around to, we didn't even score. We gave it an NA. And now we're finally getting to ones that have been in the books for a long time. So thank you for your patience.
Yeah, we will score these. Promise. But yeah, next week, Cosmo Ball. Promise. Maybe we'll see if Brian ever comes on. He keeps talking about some one that he wants to do with a friend of his, and we still haven't done it. I mean, it's 38 episodes in, and we still haven't seen the guy. So, anyways, he's Jad. I'm Spenny. This is the Ascension to 10 podcast. Thanks for listening. Hope you made it this far. We'll see you next week. As always, you can find us on the socials, Ascension #2 TEN, and check us out on YouTube if you want to digest the content that way. Ascension 210 podcast. And until next time, we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ascension to 10.